Well, he is at very least an enigma, a newly elected lawmaker who has been called a liar and a fraud, who's been accused of faking his way into Congress. But is that the full story? I'm talking about New York Republican Congressman George Santos. Now we've all heard the jokes. He was the first man on the moon. He's won dozens of Olympic medals, and that he taught Eric Clapton how to play guitar. But Congressman Santos says he's trying to get past all that and do some serious business for the American people. He has recently introduced a few bills, including one that would increase the cap on so-called SALT deductions, which his constituents in New York would love. And that, of course, is the state and local tax deduction. And another that would require the president to undergo an annual cognitive exam. I love that one. But can the congressman get past all the controversy and do good? Joining me now to discuss, New York Republican Congressman George Santos. George, welcome to the show.
Hi, Kennedy. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely right. So, George, let me ask you, what are some of the biggest misconceptions about you?
Well, you know what, Kennedy, I'm an outsider to politics, and a lot of folks just want to, in the media specifically, try to paint me as the boogeyman, but the reality is the boogeyman is China. The boogeyman is inflation. The boogeyman is the Joe Biden administration, not George Santos. I came here, I'm a boring nerd, dork, whatever you want to call me. I just want to pass legislation that are common sense for our people, especially the people of the 3rd Congressional District of New York. My first legislation, as you just said, SALT cap revision to $50,000. Granted that my district is a $45,000 average property tax district. So I'm letting the media, they did their thing. I'm going to get to do my thing in Congress. I'm going to get to write my story. I'll be judged by my work in this body, and I look so much forward to doing that.
Have you apologized for some of the whoppers that you let loose?
You know what? I've relitigated this several times with several different shows. At this point, I feel I don't have to do that anymore. I've said my piece. I just want to get past this and get to work, and that's what I've been doing. My staff, incredible staff that I have, they've been working tirelessly to get this stuff through Ledge Council, through the bureaucracy of DC, and now we're just working the way. And look, I feel very confident that by the end of this year, we will have at least 1 or 2 bills of ours on the House floor for a vote.
So I know Mitt Romney got in your face, and I thought that was lame. I don't have a great deal of respect for him. I've also defended you, not some of the things that you said, because I think there are things that you've potentially said that are very unethical at best. But I think that there are a bunch of liars in Congress. So as Mitt Romney found you and said, you don't deserve to be here, go sit in the back of the bus, son, have you said the same thing to Pocahontas and Da Nang Dick?
So what I usually say is, it's not the first time that somebody's told me I don't belong and shut up and sit in the back of the room. And I refuse to do that. And it's not going to be Mittens that's going to do that, and I'm going to listen to. So Mitt Romney can go back to Utah and do whatever he does, work against Republicans like he does every cycle, and pretend he's a Republican. But in reality, we all know he's a Democrat. He has no interest in furthering an economically sound policy out of the Senate. He just likes to rubber stamp everything that Chuck Schumer puts forward. So, let him pretend to be Republican while we in the House actually get the job done. This is the reason, Kennedy, that 2 cycles in a row, House Republicans made net gains and Senate Republicans keep losing seats because they have people like Mitt Romney and Mitch McConnell in that caucus.
Yeah, I'm not impressed with what Mitch McConnell said about the AUMF repeal. Speaking of peel, is it true that you have an OnlyFans page and you can peel a banana with your feet?
I don't have one, and it's, I'll indulge you this. I just discovered what OnlyFans was about 3 weeks ago when it was brought up in a discussion in my office.
What do you think?
And I was oblivious to the whole concept.
You just can't tell the truth. All right, so how many times have you seen the movie Catch Me If You Can?
I've never watched the movie.
You should watch it. I think you would really like it. And then this is a conversation. I have 2 teenage girls. This is a constant point of contention that we have in our home. Who do you prefer, young Leo or present day Leo?
Young Leo, Titanic Leo.
See, I think he's too young. I think he's too young. I think there's something like, maybe I want to be a 21-year-old Victoria's Secret model, and maybe that's why I respect Leo's game now. I also think, maybe he's a little bit better of an actor. Who is your favorite volleyball player?
Anna Tieme. She's a Brazilian female volleyball player. I prefer watching female volleyball, by the way, not male volleyball.
Beach volleyball or hard court?
Hard court.
Oh, see, I like beach volleyball because I went to UCLA and the Bruins dominate pretty much everyone. Who is your favorite politician whom you have crafted your career around?
Nobody. I don't have a favorite politician. I respect a lot of the members in this body and other political bodies, but I've drawn my inspiration from just wanting to do good and come here as, you know, the class of regular everyday folks in Congress is very small. The moment Congress starts looking more like people of this country, I think it'll be more productive. But
who's your best friend in Congress?
I have a lot of allies, a lot of people who have been supportive.
Who's your best friend, though? Who called you and told you he loved you?
Tim Burchett from Tennessee. Great guy. He's my mentor. He's a kind man. He's been very supportive and helping me navigate through, you know, the ropes of legislating and getting the job done here in Congress.
What was more satisfying for you, inventing penicillin or being Madonna's backup dancer?
I loved being Madonna's backup dancer,
Right?
Kennedy. It was so much fun.
George, you've been a great sport. I do appreciate you. And until they kick all the other liars out of Congress, I think you better stay put because you actually do have some good legislation. So, hey, man, if D.C. can forgive Marion Barry, I think you got a home in New York State for quite some time.
Thank you so much, Kennedy. Look, I'll say this. Stay tuned to the legislation that I'll be dropping tomorrow. I think you'll be appreciative of it, and I think the viewers at home are going to be appreciative of it. It's all about reining back wasteful spending and actually putting the Democrats on notice that if they want to play the identity politics game, you can play at that game.
All right. Very good, George. I'll talk to you again. Thank you.
You bet.